right, on today's show, I welcome on a very special guest. He is an Ivy League Coach of the Year for a 2018-2019 season, and he's the head coach of Brown University. Coach Michael Martin. Coach, how are you doing today?
Jeff, doing great. Good to be with you.
Thank you so much for being on the show, Coach. I really appreciate your time. I know things are probably busy right now, so I appreciate you coming on the show. First of all, Coach, how does it feel for you guys to be back on the court? How's that feel?
Yeah, it's been great. You don't realize how much you miss something until it's taken away, Jeff. And from March of 2020 until February of 21, we didn't have the opportunity to get on the court with our players. So we've tried to make the most of the last 4 or 5 months being back on the court in the gym with the student athletes, and certainly can't wait until we have our entire team here in September as we prepare for next season.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's got to be crazy not to play basketball for pretty much 2 seasons or 2 years, and it's got to be a bit of a change of pace. What's that like too? Not like having that for like that 2 years. How's that change?
Well, it was 1 year, 1 season.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it was. You know what? It was unique. It was bizarre. It was frustrating. It was different. It was all those things. I feel mostly for our student athletes that they didn't have the opportunity to compete. And we thought that the team that we would put on the court last season would have been highly competitive. We won't have that full team back. So obviously we've got a lot of guys back for next season, but we did lose a couple seniors, and you feel for them. I think perspective helps. If this is the worst that comes of it for us, we're probably doing really well. But nonetheless, these guys are Division I players, and they didn't have the opportunity to play.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and hopefully for this upcoming season things go well, and you guys have another great season. I mean, the past 2 seasons you guys had some really great seasons, and hopefully in this upcoming year you guys have another great season as well too.
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, we hope so. I mean, we hope we can be a lot better. But I appreciate your kind words.
Of course. But Coach, I also want to talk about before we talk about more about your season at Brown. How did you get into? What was your decision to go to Brown and like playing basketball as well too?
When I was, I grew up in Springfield, Massachusetts, and son of a high school coach. My mother was a middle school teacher, and fell in love with basketball at an early age. Played high school football and baseball as well, but always kind of knew that I would try to pursue the opportunity to play basketball in college. Was fortunate to be recruited by a few different schools, and ultimately just felt really comfortable at Brown. Really clicked with Glenn Miller, our head coach at the time, and the rest of his coaching staff, and saw it as an opportunity to play in a great conference, have a chance to get on the court early, I thought, and then get a incredible education. So those were among the reasons why I chose the school, and it's my affiliation with Brown has goes back to 1999 at this point, and it's been more than I could have ever dreamed of. The opportunity to attend the school and be associated with it for all these years.
That's awesome. And what was it like to? I mean, I know when you played at Brown, you guys made the NIT. What was it like to play the NIT?
Yeah, it was. I mean, so that was a great team. We had Earl Hunt was our senior captain, along with Lahi Nuliatia. Those 2 guys and Jason Forte were all first team all league players. We went 12-2 in the league, lost 2 tight games to University of Pennsylvania, who went 14-0 that year and won the Philadelphia Big Five, won the Ivy League. I'll never forget, we played Penn at home. Both teams were, Penn was undefeated. We had 1 loss in the league. We had just lost a close one to them at the Palestra, and Chris Berman from ESPN came and introduced starting lineups. We had a great crowd. Students were, lined up hours before tip-off, and unfortunately, I couldn't play. I tore my ACL the week before, and I still say if I had played, we would have won that game and at least tied for an Ivy title and had a 1-game playoff to see who the NCAA tournament rep was going to be. But we had to settle for the NIT. I didn't play, but I watched the game. Obviously, from the bench, we went and played Virginia down in Charlottesville, and lost a competitive game. So that was a great team. Obviously, I remember the moments on the court, but the relationships that I have with those guys to this day are just so significant, and that's why that's why you play sports, to remember those kinds of moments and build those relationships.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm sorry to hear about the ACL injury that you had, but I mean that's absolutely amazing that you guys were able to be that close to making the NCAA tournament, and it's just come up short. It stinks, but I mean it's really a great for Brown University itself, in the area at the time. And then what was the decision after your career is over? What's your decision to get into coaching?
Yeah, well, so I think obviously, certainly impacted by, my upbringing. My father, I was a ball boy for his teams, traveling on the bus everywhere they went. He was the head coach at Agawam High School when I was growing up, which is a, town just outside of Springfield, Mass.
Yeah.
Um, then obviously, really clicked with Coach Miller, and he gave me an opportunity to get into coaching. When I was a senior at Brown, though, I had interviewed with a bunch of financial services companies. I actually accepted a job at an investment bank in the fall of my senior year, and was really excited for the opportunity. Thought it'd be a great career path for me. Then my senior season ended, and just felt like I wanted to keep playing. I wasn't done. I wasn't ready to be done playing, and I played at a very low level in Europe. I played in Ireland, but it was a great experience. Met some great people, and played for a really fun team called Dart Colester. And when I got back from Ireland, Coach Miller had a coaching opportunity for me as a volunteer assistant coach. Wasn't going to make any money, but I was young. I was 22 at the time, and I was going to be a Division I assistant coach. I was going to be on the road recruiting. I was going to be on the court coaching, doing scouting reports at one, at a place that was going to give me national recruiting experience, and in a really good conference. So, I thought it was a great opportunity for me to get my foot in the door. I'm so grateful that Coach Miller believed in me enough to give me that chance, and that's kind of how I jumped into coaching, and I guess what now, 16, 17 years later, I haven't looked back.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's absolutely amazing. And it's cool that you got to play a little bit overseas, a little bit over in Ireland. And what was that experience too, being able to play over there? Did you guys travel a lot as well?
Yeah, so it's the Irish Super League at the time. I think there was 12 pro teams, and we had a good competitive team, good schedule, good fun league. Didn't it was different. You go from playing in college, you're in the gym every single day practicing. Playing a couple games a week. Over there, we had a couple practices a week, one game a week. So. Really, there's a lot of individual work on my time, on my end. Because a lot of guys I played with worked 9 to 5, right? There was only a few
Yeah.
of us who were just over there to play basketball. So, but it was, I mean, the country, the city of Dublin, such an incredible culture, and the hospitality that they showed us. I'll always remember, and I still have really close friends over in Ireland, and keep in contact with them. Was back there a couple years ago for a wedding of one of my former teammates. So it was a great experience, and I'm glad that I was able to do it.
That's a really cool experience, especially at like that 21. You're like you're at a young age, and you get to experience that and travel, and then come right into the Division I assistant coaching position at a young age. I mean, what was the biggest thing too that you learned at from the coaching and playing from coach to being a coach to like not playing anymore?
What was the? You just repeat that, Jeff?
Oh, I'm sorry. What was the biggest difference for you? Like, what was it like to come into coaching and not like, have to be like a coach and not be in a player aspect
Yeah,
anymore?
yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, so you don't have any control. You have very
Yeah.
little control over what happens out there. As a player, at least you're in the game and you have a chance to make a play, or get a rebound or dive on the floor, or whatever it might be. As a coach, when the game starts, I mean, obviously you can do a few things, but your control is very limited. You want to take full advantage of every opportunity you have in practice and preparation, but that's the biggest difference. Just the ability to really impact the game is is very limited as a coach.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And then like what do you have like a favorite moment when you were at Penn that you really enjoyed the most?
Yeah, so I mean, I was very fortunate. Coach Miller took me to Penn. He followed legendary coach and Fran Dunphy. We inherited a great team that first year. I thought Coach Miller did just a masterful job of, kind of managing the team. We had great talent. We have a lot of experienced guys who had obviously had great success under Coach Dunphy, and here Coach Miller was with a, kind of new way of doing things. And I thought he was really good at, giving the players a voice, and doing a lot of things that they felt comfortable doing. And we won an Ivy League championship. We played in the NCAA tournament, had a really good game, competitive first round game with Texas A&M out at Rupp Arena in Kentucky. And Selection Sunday, when you see your team's name listed in that bracket, there's very few things that in this sport I think that can equal that. And that's what we're working towards here. We're really focused and excited to have that opportunity as a program here at Brown. And that was a moment that I'll always remember.
Yeah, that'd be great for Brown. I'd be very excited. I'm sure there's nothing beats that feeling of seeing it, and as well as to actually experience it as well to play the NCAA tournament. I know, what is the decision to come to Brown? I know you played Pierre. I'm sure it might not be the best question, but what's the decision to come to Brown? Do you think it just made sense?
Chance to be a head coach,
Yeah,
and at your alma mater at the age of 29. So grateful to Jack Hayes and all those folks that were responsible for giving me this opportunity here at Brown. Obviously, President Paxson, and it's been an amazing experience. I've learned a ton, but yeah, I mean, I was really fortunate to have the chance to be a head coach such a young age at a school that means so much. And that that first team that I had, I'll never forget. Those guys made me and our staff made us look like we had a little bit of an idea what we were doing, even though I didn't know anything. And but we had great kids, and they believed in what we were doing from day one. And it was for me as a young coach, I was really fortunate that we inherited the team we did.
that's amazing. And were you guys were you the youngest coach in the NCAA at the time? Was that like, or were you like one of the top three youngest NCAA coaches at the time?
Yeah, I don't think I was the youngest, but I was certainly one of them.
Yeah.
At that during that first year.
So when you take over the program, especially at a young age like that, and then what is like, how do you build a program and like bring in your own coaching philosophy?
Well, I mean, I think you have to be true to who you are, right, and true to your yourself, and can't try to be someone that you learned from, or you can't try to be someone that you've studied. You have to, certainly take what you learn from different people, but apply it to with your personality and your input, your footprint, so to speak. And so that's what we tried to do. We wanted to instill right away that we were going to be a really hard playing competitive team that was unselfish, and tried to make the right play. And again, our method probably I certainly believe in um, that 9 years later, we have a much better idea what we're doing than we did that first year. But again, we're really fortunate that the student athletes we had believed in it right away, Jeff. And
It's amazing.
we tried to do things that we thought could help us be successful at Brown, and that's what we're still trying to do.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you've had some successful seasons, especially the 2018, 2019 season. You won Coach of the Year that season. What was that feeling like to win Coach of the Year?
Well, anytime you're recognized by your peers, I guess it's humbling, but it's also just, I mean, it's all about what the student athletes and our coaching staff was able to do for us to have the success we had as a team. Those are those honors are always about the team. It never happens for a team that doesn't win a lot of games. I thought that we had a great collection of talent and high character, hardworking student athletes, and I think that has been um, a moment that we continue to build upon. And that season has given us momentum that we have tried to carry forward in our recruiting and our development of the student athletes that we have. And we certainly hope that we can improve upon what we did that year, and the year that we just had after it.
Yeah, yeah. You guys compiled. I mean, that year you had 20 games. You won 20 games. You guys made the CBI, and then the following year, you guys won 15 games. Which I was reading, it was compiling. That's 35 games in 2 years, which was compiling was the best back-to-back year I guess Brown has had in their history for basketball.
Yeah, certainly some success, but a lot left to be done. And we've won one Ivy League championship here in our program's history. That was 1986, and we're working really hard every day to try to bring the second. And we have so many people that are supporting us. From President Paxson and our corporation of Brown University to obviously our division of athletics, our new vice president of athletics, Grace Calhoun, certainly Jack Hayes, our previous AD, and then so many fans and alumni and members of the community. We're all working really really hard to bring that next Ivy League championship to Brown. And when we do it, I want everyone to feel ownership and feel really great joy that we can hopefully win another Ivy League championship here at Brown.
Yeah, yeah. I hope so. I hope it works out for you guys the upcoming years. I just want to ask. I know you kind of mentioned this, but like, what's the one thing you're really looking forward to doing the most, especially getting back on the court this season?
Well, I mean, just getting our whole team together will be great. I mean, we've had pockets of guys since February. Right now, we're in our summer term, which is the third academic term of the 2021 academic year at Brown, and we went to 3 terms in an effort to de-densify campus. So we have 6 student athletes that are on campus right now: 3 freshmen, 3 sophomores, and they're finishing up their second term. We had probably 10 student athletes on campus in the spring, but we haven't had the whole team together. And obviously, we have this new freshman group that'll be coming in September. So really, just looking forward to being in the same room and having all the guys in the roster and our staff together. And we've been on Zoom a few times, but we haven't all been together in the same room yet as a full team. So really looking forward to that opportunity, and then just getting on the court and getting in the weight room and getting on the track and building towards what we think can be a great season. I think this roster certainly has all of the ingredients to have a special season. What we do with those ingredients is to be determined, but I think that we have talent, we have experience, we have size, athleticism, and I think we have great leadership from our upperclassmen. So uh, I'm certainly optimistic.
Yeah, yeah, it's very exciting. You're gonna definitely catch me in some games this year for sure. Brown, I actually used to intern up there, so it would be nice to get back up there and see the campus and watch you guys play this year. It'd be a lot of fun.
We'll have season tickets on sale soon for you, Jeff.
All right, that sounds good. That sounds really good. Coach, I have one more question before we sign off. What's your favorite thing to do outside of basketball? I mean, I know basketball is a big part of your life. Well, what's the biggest thing that you like to do outside of basketball that people wouldn't know about, or things that you like to do enjoy around Rhode Island?
Yeah, I mean, I would say they probably know if they know me. Just being with my family, my wife Kristen, who is also a Brown former soccer player at Brown, and our 3 girls, Kira, Avery, and Tegan. Love watching them play sports. They're into soccer and basketball and lacrosse, and they're trying everything. So just being with them. Love the city of Providence, love the state of Rhode Island, love everything that our great state has to offer. And anywhere in our state where I can be with my family and hang with them and spend time with them away from Brown basketball is a good thing.
That's awesome. That's great. Well, Coach, thank you so much for being on the show. It's a lot of fun. Brown, extremely lucky to have you, and keep doing what you're doing with Brown University. Great things are coming. You can definitely see me at the games this year.
Jeff, great to be with you. Thanks for what you're doing, and good being on with you.
Yeah, thank you so much.